AudioJungle.
10 wrestlers who have been attacked outside the ring. Consider professional wrestling is not a piece of cake. Not only do the wrestlers have to keep themselves in shape by performing intense workouts on a daily basis, also they have to face constant stimuli coming their way from people who want to see them engaged in a nice fight with skilled fighters. JBL. JBL has stayed WWE World Heavyweight Champion in the past and is the present broadcaster. Bradshaw is famous for being a fine prankster. His jokes made a lot of people laugh while some people were always irritated by them. Back in 2008, while he was on tour to perform for the troops in Iraq, overcome by his desire to pull a prank, he made ECW broadcaster Joey Styles his target. Styles did not understand the humor in it, and word has it, gave an intense reaction by punching JBL in his face. Lio Rush. The history of wrestling is abundant in instances where a wrestler was found to have been attacked by some overzealous or simply in opposition, and clearly this has been seen with wrestlers in autonomous promotions also. At a very young age of 21, Lio Rush had gained a good reputation and status as a main player in many chief games. This fine reputation, however, caused him more harm than good, as he had to bear with the aggression of a number of fans at numerous occasions. One instance that got very famous occurred only recently this year, when following an event by Pro Wrestling Empire. He was abused by a fan who stood near the Pennsylvania Avenue. After his attack, he updated a Facebook status asking his fans if there is anyone amongst them that could recognize the person who had attacked him, and indicated what he was wearing when that happened. Raven. One thing the wrestling fans of the 90s usually witnessed was how frequently some fan from the audience would make an attempt to reach into the ring and strike the wrestlers. One of ECW's main players, Raven, had a similar experience while in a game of WCW Thunder. It just so happened that Raven sat at the ring edge speaking into a mic during a popular promo just when a fan appeared out of the blue and tried to drag Raven out of the rear. But thanks to security who precluded this awkward incident before any fight could occur. Despite being an uncommon happening now, fan attacks still are extant in wrestling. While Randy Orton was on tour in Cape Town with the WWE back in year 2013, he was interacting with the swarming fan base just when a fan made it into the ring and landed a light blow to Randy Orton. Orton was taken back by this, and before he could react, the fan was detained. Braun Strowman. Strowman is a new name in the WWE game, but has attained quite a good position in such a little time as one of the key wrestlers of the game. But that does not exempt him from the crowd resentment recently. As Strowman was moving out of the ring while a non-televised match in Philadelphia, stuff got awkward when an infuriated fan who stood outside the ring only to land a punch on Strowman's face, upon which the latter kept his cool and instead of responding the same way, he simply beckoned to the security to take the fan out. Many appreciate this act of his. Arn Anderson. This dates back to a little earlier time when professional wrestling really was a demanding job. Yes, we are talking about the 70s. Things were hard, particularly the management of crazy fans, and the incident that is about to be told here is something far from a benign scuffle. Following a match in the late 70s, a really old age fan pierced the knife in Anderson's chest and shoulder. Luckily, he was resuscitated and was again back at his game within 2 days of this gruesome act, which was a manifestation of his sportsman spirit. Roddy Piper. A lot of other famous wrestlers have been also fallen prey to the fanbase attacks. One such example is Roddy Piper, who claims to have been stabbed twice on 3 different occasions. The one that had made the headlines occurred while Piper was in North Carolina. He, while trying to protect a girl, missed the attacker and was thus left wounded in the chest. The little girl later was found to be the crazy fan's daughter. Piper revived with immediate medical care while the crazy fan was taken behind bars by the police. Freddie Blassie. Freddie was undoubtedly a magnificent wrestler of his time. Reports tell that Freddie during his professional wrestling career was stabbed more than 20 times. Being a great player was not as easy as you might think back in that time. What is even more disconcerting is that all these attacks were by wrestling fans. Things got really serious when once a fan was audacious enough to throw acid on Freddie's back, and then the match had to be stopped on the spot. The Messiah. Among such attacks, and also a category where a fan is paid to target a specific wrestling player. This is, however, not too common, a happening, but its existence cannot be questioned. Back in 2002, during a wrestling promotion, while Messiah was in his apartment, he was walked in on by a couple of guys claiming to be friends of a close friend of his, who he shared the apartment with. Once inside, they turned out to be hitmen, and were being paid for attacking him. But he managed to get rid of them, and all the damage they can inflict upon him was chopping his thumb off. Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels is indeed a real hero to wrestling fans. It so turned out that once while he was roaming around a New York bar in the mid-90s, he started a row with a bunch of guys who later he discovered were Marines. The quarrel ended in Michaels getting severely injured. As a consequence of this fight, he went on sabbatical, sacrificing his Intercontinental Championship.